Do they not know, like, when she was gone, it went back to the year before she was in the league?
This is former NBA star Gilbert Arenas, and that was only the beginning of his urgent warning to those targeting Caitlin Clark in the WNBA. With Clark drawing historic TV ratings, record-breaking crowds, and billion-dollar attention every time she steps on the court, Arenas cautions that the players risk destroying everything that's being built.
We got a proposal from the league, which was honestly a slap in the face.
Right now, WNBA players are entering the most important negotiation of their careers, the new collective bargaining agreement. Emotions are running high, with players voicing their frustrations publicly and gearing up for a fight. But what we're actually witnessing might be one of the biggest missteps in sports history. The players don't seem to realize the trap they're walking into, one that could unravel everything Caitlin Clark has helped build. While they remain focused on their grievances, Clark's fans and analysts are sounding the alarm. The situation has escalated to the point where, for this and several other reasons I'll break down, people are seriously urging Caitlin Clark to start her own league. Earlier in the season, that idea might have seemed far-fetched. But based on what we've seen so far, there's now a real possibility that Caitlin could take bold action and she might not have a choice. So let's dive into what Gilbert Arenas just said and the recent developments that could push Clark to make a game-changing move. Stick with me to the end, and let me know if you agree with my prediction. But first, like this video and drop a checkmark in the comments if you think Caitlin should launch her own league. Now, let's rewind to a clip that turned out to be eerily prophetic.
Cause I'm hearing like, yeah, they don't give us, if y'all don't give us what we want, like, we sit out.
That's a possibility, for real.
Yeah.
This was Angel Reese and DJ Carrington talking tough about the CBA negotiations before the season even began, and they got absolutely roasted for it. Not because people think WNBA players shouldn't get paid. Like it or not, they're getting a raise. After all, you can't have a league where Caitlin Clark earns less than the manager at Bees Car Washington. What shocked people was the tone: arrogant, dismissive, and completely out of touch with the reality that they aren't the ones holding the leverage. That leverage belongs to one person, Caitlin Clark. And I won't bore you with spreadsheets, this one clip says it all.
When she came into the league, obviously interest went way up and some of the finances went way up, but there was some argument that it was a little bit of, a rising tide lifts all boats. But here we go with Caitlin Clark, singularly, being missing for the time she was gone, and ratings tanking, 50% in some cases. And then also she comes back and reminds everyone how spectacular she is. And everybody's talking about the WNBA. So if you needed to sort of have it affirmed to you that it is just her, that the singularity of her is what we are talking about and her star power, you got it.
It's really simple. When Caitlin Clark is on the court, ratings surge. When she's not, they drop dramatically. That's no longer up for debate. The numbers speak for themselves, and they paint a clear picture. Caitlin Clark is the engine driving the WNBA's growing popularity. Yet, despite the momentum she's brought to the league, historic viewership, sold-out arenas, and unprecedented media attention, many WNBA players have responded with increasing hostility. Rather than embracing the rising tide, some have doubled down on pettiness, and what seems like jealousy is beginning to overshadow the progress. This tension has been simmering all season, but for many fans and even some media voices, the breaking point came with the recent All-Star voting. Despite being the biggest draw in the league and the reason many new fans are tuning in, Clark's treatment throughout the process left a sour taste. It wasn't just the final outcome, it was the tone and attitude surrounding it. Instead of recognizing the opportunity to unite and grow the sport together, some players seem more focused on pushing back against the very force elevating their league. And now, many are wondering if this fractured dynamic could jeopardize everything Clark has helped create.
9th best guard in the league. Don't try to give me the excuses of, well, she's been struggling lately, or she missed some games with injury. Come on, this is insanity. And I think it's an activist vote by the women of the WNBA who simply cannot stand her success. It's so dumb and it's so childish.
Caitlin Clark led all players in fan voting by a record-breaking margin. But when it came time for the players to cast their votes, they didn't just leave her out of the top four, they ranked her as the 9th best guard, not even overall player. This is the same Caitlin Clark who finished 4th in MVP voting just last year, and despite battling injuries this season, her numbers have remained elite. And let's be honest, the way teams defend her says everything. She's double-teamed as soon as she crosses half court. She is the scouting report. That's what makes this situation so important and why what Gilbert Arenas said hits hard. Every slight aimed at Caitlyn isn't just about her, it alienates her massive fan base. And when you push those fans away, it's not just a temporary dip in ratings, you lose the opportunity to convert them into lifelong WNBA supporters. Right now, a significant part of Caitlyn's fan base doesn't just feel left out, they're turning against the league. Many are hoping she leaves, starts her own league, and leaves the WNBA behind. They celebrate ratings drops. It's us versus them, and the WNBA helped fuel that divide. Now throw in a looming player strike. If that happens, those new fans vanish instantly and likely forever. And the players pushing hardest in negotiations may have the biggest conflict of interest of all.
Let me make sure I'm understanding this correctly. The owner of a competing basketball league is negotiating the salaries of players who are playing in the league they're competing against? But KC, Unrivaled isn't competing with the WNBA. Unrivaled was launched so WNBA players had the opportunity to make six-figure salaries that they could never earn in the WNBA. I'm pretty sure that is the definition of conflict of interest.
Two of the central figures in the WNBA's collective bargaining negotiations, Breanna Stewart and Nafisa Collier, aren't just players fighting for better terms. They're also co-founders of Unrivaled, a separate league backed by outside investors, a national TV deal, and a growing roster of top WNBA talent, including many of the league's rising stars. So while they're representing WNBA players at the bargaining table, they're also building a competing league that could, in theory, replace the WNBA altogether. For many new fans, that's a major red flag. It raises serious questions about loyalty, motives, and long-term stability. If even the league's leaders have one foot out the door, how are fans supposed to invest in the WNBA's future? And while Caitlyn Clark remains the face of this new wave of attention, her fans are reaching a breaking point. They love her, but they're losing patience with a league that seems unwilling to fully support or elevate her. That brings us back to Gilbert Arenas. Amid the growing jealousy, aggressive CBA posturing, and glaring conflicts of interest, he dropped a hard truth the WNBA desperately needs to hear before it's too late.
Just enjoy and go on with it.
Yeah.
Like, think about what they was getting paid before they said, Jordan, you're the guy. What do you think Magic and Bird and all them making? Do you know how much Charles Barkley was making his rookie year before the TV deals that Jordan brung in? If you're making $40,000, every 5 months, and now you're making 80, then just do your job
and vote for the person who got you there. Yeah, that's weird to me.
Gilbert Arenas has a lot more to say, but let's pause here because this is the part that truly blows people's minds. The WNBA has the female Michael Jordan in Caitlyn Clark. She's generating record-shattering ratings, packing arenas night after night, and single-handedly dragging the league into a new financial era. The new media rights deal? It's reportedly worth $270 million per year, nearly $3 billion over the life of the contract. That deal is the reason the league is renegotiating the CBA early. And yet, despite all this momentum, the pettiness continues. Instead of rallying around the player transforming their sport, some in the league seem more focused on sidelining her. It's baffling. Gilbert Arenas makes a powerful point. The players pushing back the hardest appear to lack all perspective. They're so caught up in ego battles and internal politics that they're losing sight of the bigger picture. This isn't just about one player, it's about a once-in-a-generation opportunity to elevate the entire league. And if they're not careful, that opportunity might disappear just as fast as it came.